Before we bolt the doors and kill the lights, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because the algorithm is unpredictable. But the survival strategies we discuss here are absolute, and I want you in the loop when things go sideways. Imagine the first 48 hours after a total grid collapse. The unnerving hum of the refrigerator stops, the streetlights are dead, and the silence of the suburbs is suddenly deafening. Your instinct, wired into your brain by thousands of years of evolution and decades of Hollywood movies, is to find others. You look out the window and see a flashlight beam 3 houses down. You see a gathering on a front lawn. You feel a pull to grab your bag and join them, thinking there is safety in numbers, that a neighborhood watch is your best defense against the chaos. That instinct is a lie. In a true survival scenario, that gathering isn't a fortress, it is a resource black hole, a beacon for violence, and a biological time bomb waiting to detonate. The biggest misconception you hold right now is that community equals survival, but I am going to show you why isolation and the cold, hard math of attrition are the only things that will keep you alive. We are going to dismantle the myth of the group using nothing but basic household logistics, simple physics, and a refusal to be a victim of statistics. Your first lesson begins in the kitchen with a standard 1 liter measuring cup. Fill it with water and set it on the counter. This object represents the absolute limit of your survival physics. A group of 30 people, which sounds like a solid defensive platoon, requires a minimum of 60 liters of water every single day just to maintain basic hydration, not including hygiene or cooking. If you try to scavenge that amount, you are hauling 130 pounds of liquid every 24 hours, exposing yourself to threats constantly. The action here is to calculate your personal reservoir. When you reject the group, that 50-gallon drum in your garage that would last a group of 30 less than 3 days now sustains you and a partner for 3 months. The magic is in the denominator. By keeping your circle to 1 or 2 people, you alter the consumption rate from a torrent to a drip, turning a desperate daily scramble for water into a manageable, silent inventory check. Next, go to your pantry and pick up a single can of beans. Look at the calorie count, roughly 350 calories. In a group setting, food is not just fuel, it is the currency of power and the root of conflict. A group of 30 requires 60,000 calories a day just to starve slowly. The action you must take is to verify your calorie density and hide it. When you are alone or in a pair, you can practice caloric discipline, eating enough to function but not enough to feel full, stretching that can into 2 meals. In a group, the psychology of perceived fairness takes over. People count spoonfuls. Resentment builds when the heavy lifters demand more food than the children or the elderly. By eliminating the group, you eliminate the politics of the dinner table. You aren't relying on a democracy to decide who eats. You are relying on the brutal efficiency of your own metabolism. Now, stand in the middle of your living room and simply listen. In a grid-down world, the ambient noise of traffic and electronics vanishes, dropping the noise floor to zero. In this acoustic vacuum, sound travels with terrifying clarity. A group of people is a noise factory. 30 people coughing, snoring, arguing, and walking on floorboards create a thundering herd that can be heard for half a mile. Your action is to cultivate the acoustic shadow. Walk through your home in socks, learn which floorboards creak, and fix them with a simple screw or avoid them entirely. The magic here is stealth. A large group cannot hide. They broadcast their position to every desperate raider in the county. As a solo survivor or a duo, you can exist in total silence. You can communicate with hand signals or whispers. You become a ghost in your own home, invisible to the predators, drawn to the cacophony of the safety in numbers crowd. Move to the bathroom and look at the toilet. It seems like a mundane fixture, but without water pressure, it is a useless porcelain bowl. Now, do the math on human waste for 30 people. We are talking about pounds of solid waste and gallons of urine every day. In a communal shelter, sanitation fails within 48 hours. The action you need to take is to establish a strict waste management protocol for your micro unit immediately using heavy duty bags and kitty litter or sawdust. The science behind this is the biological firewall. In a group, one person with dysentery or the flu turns the entire shelter into a petri dish because of shared utensils and proximity. By isolating, you drastically reduce the R naught or reproduction rate. Pathogens. You aren't just hiding from people, you're hiding from the microscopic killers that thrive in refugee camps. Walk over to your window and look at your curtains. In a group, light discipline is impossible to maintain. Someone will always light a candle, flash a lighter, or open a door at the wrong time because 30 people have 30 different levels of discipline and anxiety. A single photon can betray your position from blocks away. Your action is to black out your sanctuary, completely using heavy blankets or cardboard taped to the frame. The expert edge here isn't just about blocking light, it's about controlling the psychological need for it. Groups use light for comfort. You use darkness as armor. When you are alone, you can adapt to the dark, moving by memory and touch, turning your home into a labyrinth that only you can navigate. Any intruder entering your pitch black domain is blind while you are fighting on familiar terrain. Consider the layout of your furniture. Drag 2 chairs into the center of the room and place them back to back. This is the rule of 2, and it is the only social structure that survives the collapse. The flaw of the large group is the hierarchy. Decisions require consensus or a dictator, and both lead to mutiny when the kids start crying from hunger. The action is to vet one single partner, a spouse, a sibling, a lifelong friend, and drill the sniper Osh spotter methodology. One sleeps, one watches, one works, one covers. The magic of the rule of 2 is that it provides 360-degree security and 0 blind spots without the logistical nightmare of a platoon. Trust is a finite resource. Spread it across 30 people, and it evaporates. Keep it between 2, and it becomes unbreakable iron. Finally, go to your front door and look at the deadbolt. A group will always try to fortify the perimeter, building barricades and posting guards, believing that visible strength is a deterrent. They are wrong. Visible defenses imply there is something inside worth stealing. Your action is to embrace the gray man concept applied to architecture. Leave your house looking unassuming, perhaps even slightly looted or abandoned. Don't board up windows from the outside. Reinforce them from the inside. The psychology here is deception. The large group signals a fortress to be besieged. Your home signals an empty shell to be ignored. You are not trying to win a siege. You are trying to avoid the battle entirely. By the time the us or raiders realize someone is home, it should be too late for them, not you. Survival is not about who has the most guns or the biggest stockpile. It is about who has the lowest caloric burn rate and the smallest target profile. The survivor philosophy isn't a hero fantasy. It is a rejection of the social contract that no longer exists. While the rest of the neighborhood is gathering around a bonfire, singing songs to comfort themselves while burning through their resources and broadcasting their location, you are operating in the cold, quiet logic of the calculator. You have traded the false comfort of companionship for the tangible security of invisibility. You understand that in a collapse, every stranger is a variable you cannot control, a mouth you cannot feed, and a vector for disease you cannot treat. Return to that image of the first night. The power is out. The silence is heavy. Down the street, you see the flicker of the communal fire and hear the murmur of voices. It looks warm. It looks inviting. But you know what it really is. A dying star burning itself out. You stand in the center of your darkened living room, your partner by your side, your resources measured, your waste managed, your presence erased from the world. You are not lonely. You are secure. You watch the fire down the street flicker and eventually fade as the math catches up with them. You survive because you didn't panic. You survive because you didn't follow the herd off the cliff. Stay hidden, stay quiet, and let the math do the fighting for you. If you think you have the discipline to go it alone, drop a comment below with Lone Wolf. And don't forget to like this video to help signal the other survivors out there.